Well, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this another brand new day filled with hope and promise and threats and terror and yay, life on Earth. Life in a physical universe of normal matter. Baryonic matter, no less. It is Saturday, it is 7 o'clock a.m., and for the Shelton, Washington Weather Plague Rat and Spider Report, last night when I went out walkies, it had been raining on and off all day, and it was very wet, very damp, very windy, and it got windier the later it got as I was out walking. But then it's calmed down and there's nothing outside. I mean, it's obviously there's something outside. It's dark, so I can't see. But there's things out there. It's not just a featureless void. And that's good. Plague Rat Report. Well, people out there still not taking it seriously. No masks inside of places where they should be. So, yay. I mean, it's out of control here in the U.S. Thumbs up for that. But that's life. Spider Report. There is a new gangly-legged spider down in the webs that were abandoned by the other gangly-legged spider down there. Thumbs up. I am still surrounded by predatory life. The garden spider in the corner is still alive and must be still eaten. So thumbs up. I'm glad she's still there. Again, she's not exactly a pet, but it's nice that there's life. Even, I mean, you can't say even if it's predatory life, because all life is. I mean, it's eat or be eaten, kill or be killed. Thumbs up for that. Also, though, on a quick side note, which isn't really going to be quick or a side note, I got this book back in the early 90s, and it is a copyleft version of the original 1965 thing, and the original was copylefted and all that. Now what that just means is they put it out into the public domain. They say, please distribute this, do whatever you want with it. You want to make changes to it, make changes to it. Once you've made changes to it, you want to distribute that, please distribute that. And so it's been copylefted. And in 1994, Steve Jackson Games came out with a version of their own with not only just a regular reprint of the 1965 thing, but a whole bunch of added material at the end, which this is where they had originally come up with like Fnord and all that. But also, when people say they're Discordian, this might be the type of Discordian they speak of, not the classical like Greek gods and all that, because this is still a book about Eris, from Greek mythology. But this sort of, when you're this kind of Discordian, you're really, really wrapped up in a whole bunch of just total surrealism. The more stuff doesn't make sense, the more pure chaotic it is, the more you're a Discordian. So occasionally, if I've ever said that I'm a Discordian and you remember that, this is the form of Discordia that I speak of. Chaos. Thumbs up for that. But it's just, I still have that book that I bought when it came, this version came out in the early 90s. So I just wanted to show that off. I mean, my nose is just so itchy. And then here, the zit inside is getting better, but still painful. Oh, that whole thing just hurts. But it's also good. Anyway, though, I wanted to talk about other things. So I'm not going to bore people with that. I'm going to bore people with the other things. The one thing I did want to do is, I have not been able to do this before, but as I continue to get better, I am able to do more things in some ways. These people have, since October 30th, given me PayPal donations. Some of them not very substantial, some of them very substantial. It doesn't matter what the amount is. Anything helps. I've gotten $5 donations, $2 donations. Some people might say, well, what's the use of a $2 donation? A $2 donation can buy me enough stuff to eat for a day. I am never going to put down any amount that anyone donates, because anything that helps me eat another day is extremely appreciated. I'm going to try and go back and thank people over the last year. So I'm going to go from October 30th back another month or two for tomorrow and some. And try and get that done. And anyone, of course, who donates for the future is going to get a thank you from that point on. But I just wanted to start doing that to show my appreciation for that. It is appreciated. One of the big reasons I bring this up, and I'm finally able to do this, I did get a substantial enough donation yesterday from somebody who in their message said, I am unable to send you cat food, but here is this. And so, itchy. And I do not know why my nose does this. And they sent along enough money that I can buy cat food. And I'm going to be buying cat food today, which is very good because I'm running out today. I got one can left. So thank you so very, very much. I thank you. If my kitty cat could thank you, she would. It is appreciated, each and every one of you, to no end. It's driving me nuts. I do not know why my nose is just... Because I've blown my nose, I've done all sorts of stuff. There's nothing that's like there to be itchy. And yet every time I stop doing this, it immediately goes, hey, there's 50 million cat hairs. Even though there aren't. This is going to be a little bit of cosmic horror talk. Because I've made glyphs, some real quick glyphs, and they look awful because they're not really designed to be anything that's really big. Remember, a glyph is designed to be something that's just something you can quickly paint or scrawl or draw or carve to show. And anyone who sees it that knows. So they look terrible, they look awful, but they're more than I had thought I would have done. I mean, like, let's see, which direction is good? This one has less in the way. So that means I'll have to try and move stuff with my left hand, which I don't have a problem with. I'm more left-handed than right these days, but my mouse is way over there on the other side of the keyboard, so it's an odd reach. But like, there's a glyph for a satyr who just goes by Satyr at this point, and I've told the whole story about that. And then there's Beta Nera's little thing, because he's basically an underwater thing. Satyr is a centipede-like. And then there's Erogots. I mean, they look terrible, but it's a spider-like being. Haki, just because it doesn't really have a shape that you could draw, so it's sleepy eyes. Human form type. And then there's Nebakiro, the ram. And then Tamakanoso, who runs with its pack. And then there is, of course, the symbol for Ray, fungus-like, a very fungusy being. And then, of course, there's Kadiron, chewing through the ground, teeth. And then below that one is Godzi Ray, the horrific space horror. Then, of course, I mentioned before how there's the Angoka, and then they are one Ang with its 12 children, and thus the same rough symbol is the one for Amaterasu, the most powerful cosmic horror and mother of the other 12, with the other symbol around it. Hopefully I did that all properly. That would be nice if I didn't screw that all up. Now, one of the things that I'd mentioned that, yeah, those are the glyphs, so that when people dream, when people think of this stuff, that's what they see. Just stuff that's species-centric and something that just can be quickly carved or drawn, painted, whatever. So they're easy, they're quick, they're sloppy. I can't draw with this hand, and it's drawing with a mouse. I can't draw with a mouse. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, of all the creatures that the cosmic horrors are, I mentioned before that Godzi Ray is one of the weirdest, and it's extremely so. All of the others are at least beings that could exist, like Erogots is a gigantic spider, and Nebakiro is like a giant ram, and Tamakanoso is a wolf-like. Satyr is a centipede. They're all things that could be alive. Godzi Ray, who is my favorite one and actually based on my childhood when I was very much overconfident and brash as a young man, that character isn't normal. It is a space horror that is bizarrer beyond the others. Because I've mentioned before, talking about it in the past, if you've ever heard me, Godzi Ray has a head plate. This is basically the body. If this head plate and Godzi Ray were the same size as a human being, it would be like a 5 or 6 foot tall oval of stone, polished, mirror bright, both sides. And it, like I say, it's oval like this, not a circle, an oval. On one side, it's as if a face and skin had come extruded out of that. So there is one gigantic eye, below that, the mouth. And he has, I say he because I speak English and I forget, but they is the pronouns I'm trying to use because they are neither male nor female, they are mules. But they, which has nothing to do with any part of it except for other things. But even though it's extruded out of the front part of this head plate, there's no rest of a body. There's a gullet because it eats, but there's no body anywhere that's the other side. Because on the other side of the head plate, that's where the motile tendrils extrude from. Now the motile tendrils it's like a bulbous field of stuff out of which constantly changing with no definitive size, shape, or length. You know, it's all different words for the same thing. This just constantly moving and changing, kind of like a lava lamp, except each motile tendril is as large as needed for the task at hand. And whatever Godzi Ray wants them to do, they do. So if he needs 5 motile tendrils to reach around the room and grab stuff as it's working on something, they do. And it's not even something you would think about. It would be like if you were working on something, you reach back behind you, you grab your screwdriver, and then you start working with that hand. It's the same thing. And the head plate levitates, and the motile tendrils can be permanentized so that, you know, if it's grabbing something, it's not going to be shifting, that stuff would drop. So there's a motile tendril. As soon as it's done, it could just... So that's Godzi Ray. And the head plate is, if it were the same size as a human being, about 6 inches thick. And that's Godzi Ray. A very, very strange, very bizarre space cosmic horror. So thumbs up for that. Because I've mentioned in little things here and there, you know, that there's the head plate, but never really talked about what the head plate is. Now, one of the situations and one of the stories I've done, there are certain universes that become cancerous, and they're usually ejected out of the multiverse into the void, where they just freeze out and no longer exist. Sometimes they are tethered to the multiverse and they come back. Godzi Ray, filled with overconfidence, goes into one of these. And that's where it's almost destroyed, as the inside of its body is suddenly forced to exist because the entirety of this cancerous universe manages to get a hook into the motile tendril patch on the back and rip through, forcing what didn't exist before to have to exist. And Godzi Ray had to make a decision: leave now, which could hurt and possibly kill it, or stay and die. And so it left, and those hooks inside of it ripped out huge chunks of its insides which had never existed before. Yay. Of course, that's the humanizing stories. In the actual physical cosmic horror band of it, I have no ideas what can happen. I only have a 3+1 mind, 3 dimensions, and 1 sense of time. I'm not a cosmic horror. I have no ideas what would have happened in quote-unquote real life for them. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with the way that I just suddenly lose my mind, you never know if I'm going to be able to do it fully or not. So thumbs up for that. Let me call up my Chrome. We have Spy Dude, thumbs up and thank you very much. Snipes_XRX, thumbs up. Fargrond, greatly appreciated, thank you very much. Ice Damon, greatly appreciated. Noah Geneve Brown, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly, hopefully I am. And thank you very much, good to see you in the comments. Tylee Serrano, thank you very, very much. Tony Bennett, greatly appreciated. XIUSBBY, thumbs up and thank you. EPK Films, greatly appreciated. We have Christopher Thomas, good to see you in the comments. Weed Lord Boner Hitler, heck of a name. And then we have Tuna 1989 and an itchy forehead. Tuna 1989, thank you very, very much. Sebastian Ferris, good to see you in the comments. Oreo_, thank you very much. Colin Reisner, good to see you. Isabella, greatly appreciated. We have Melissa Ramirez, greatly appreciated. George DJ Matrix, thumbs up and thank you. We have Kapaki, greatly appreciated. There is Wendy Roman, thumbs up and thank you. Arturo HICHOSHICHOS, thumbs up and thank you. There's a bunch of katakana. I have no ideas what the name actually is, but thank you very, very much. And that's it. 22 people. Thank you all so very much. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, if only in text. And that's a very good thing, because when you're depressed, you need to get out of the echo chamber of your skull. Other voices. And that's good. Thank you all so very, very much. And if you could check out my links down below, as he said, stumbling over his words again, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out financially without sending money through the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, I have an Amazon wish list link as well, with things like cat food, hamster bedding, silly things, not silly things. If you could check it out, that would be awesome. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence, a definite thumbs up, and of course if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be cool. Definitely awesome. Well, good golly, Miss Molly, I have this video, I have another video that I have to edit and then render and then upload, so I got some things to do. I called my son yesterday, so that was nice. You know, I got to push through my executive dysfunction and make a phone call, a good thing. And the lobster hat wearing duck head of judgment suffers from a surplus of scorn. I can't remember how the rest of it goes. What do I say next after that? Gosh darn it, my brain. So, big story behind it, but I can't do it right now. Still, thumbs up for that. Black Lives Matter, because no one should be shot down or murdered in any fashion on any street or in any home just because of the color of your skin. Why is this controversial? I don't know. Justice for everybody, the jackbooted, brown-shirted fascist thugs in police uniforms who keep brutalizing and murdering them in their homes and on American streets. So please, wash your hands, try not to touch your face, wear a mask when you go out, practice your social distancing, stay at home unless you have to. We can get through this. We just have to take small little measures like this. That's not the end of the world. It's just taking care of yourself and others. Why is that controversial? So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend. And that is a very good thing.